So, you want to make a Hollywood movie, but where do you even begin? Do you just hire a few actors, buy some cameras, and start filming? Or does making a Hollywood blockbuster actually cost hundreds of millions of dollars? How can one movie cost $300 million, $400 million, or even more than $500 million? And here's something even more surprising. If a movie earns $1 billion at the box office, does the studio actually keep all $1 billion? Or does most of that money go somewhere else? Who really gets paid? The actors? The directors? The movie theaters? Or the studios behind the film? And perhaps the biggest question of all, how does Hollywood continue making billions of dollars every single year, even when some movies lose hundreds of millions? Well, in this documentary, we're going to answer all of these questions. We'll show you how Hollywood really works, how movies are financed, where every dollar is spent, how studios make their money, and why one successful film can become a billion-dollar business long after it leaves theaters. So stay until the end, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Hollywood isn't just about entertainment. It's one of the biggest businesses on Earth. And if you enjoy learning about the hidden economics behind billion-dollar industries, make sure to subscribe. Every week, we break down another fascinating business and explain exactly how it works. Now, let's get started. Almost everyone has watched a Hollywood movie. Whether it's Avatar, Avengers, Jurassic World, Titanic, Harry Potter, or Top Gun, millions of people buy tickets without ever thinking about what it actually takes to create these films. For most of us, a movie lasts about 2 hours. But behind those 2 hours are years of planning, thousands of workers, cutting-edge technology, and hundreds of millions of dollars. A single blockbuster can employ more people than many large companies. Writers, producers, directors, actors, camera crews, editors, visual effects artists, sound designers, costume makers, construction workers, marketing teams, and hundreds of other specialists all work together to bring one story to life. In many cases, a movie begins production 3 to 5 years before audiences ever see it. And here's something many people don't know. For the biggest Hollywood films, the cost of making the movie is often only half of the total investment. Studios frequently spend another $100 million to $200 million just on advertising and global marketing. That means a movie with a $250 million production budget could easily cost more than $450 million before selling a single ticket. So this brings us to the biggest question. If making movies is this expensive, how does Hollywood make all of its money back? Is it only from movie tickets? Or are there hidden revenue streams that turn one film into a billion-dollar empire? How Hollywood movies make money. Now we know that making a Hollywood movie can cost hundreds of millions of dollars. But here's the real question. How does Hollywood make all of that money back? Is it simply by selling movie tickets? Well, yes, but that's only a small part of the story. The biggest movie studios don't rely on just one source of income. In fact, one successful movie can continue making money for 10, 20, or even 50 years after its release. Let's break it down. Box office revenue. The first and most obvious source of income is the box office. Every time someone buys a movie ticket, money starts flowing. But here's something that surprises most people. The movie studio doesn't keep the full ticket price. Imagine you buy a movie ticket for $15. You might think Disney or Warner Bros. Receives all $15. They don't. A large portion stays with the movie theater. During the first few weeks, the studio might receive around 65% of the ticket revenue in the U.S., while the theater keeps the rest. In international markets, the studio's share is often even lower. That means a movie earning $1 billion at the worldwide box office does not mean the studio earns $1 billion in profit. In reality, the amount that returns to the studio is much smaller after theaters, distributors, taxes, and local partners take their share. That's why Hollywood studios don't depend on ticket sales alone. Let's look at a real example. Imagine a superhero movie earns $1.2 billion worldwide. Sounds incredible. But let's see what actually happens. Suppose the studio receives about 50% of the global ticket sales. After theater splits, that means from $1.2 billion the studio gets approximately $600 million. Now subtract A Production budget of $250 million, a global marketing campaign costing another $180 million, distribution costs, bonuses, interest, and other business expenses. Suddenly, that billion-dollar movie isn't as profitable as it first appeared. This is why Hollywood executives don't celebrate simply because a movie crosses $1 billion. They focus on what really matters: profit. Because revenue and profit are two completely different things. Streaming rights. Now let's talk about one of Hollywood's fastest growing sources of income: streaming. Years ago, movies earned most of their money in cinemas. Today, after leaving theaters, many films are sold or licensed to streaming platforms. Companies like Netflix, Disney+, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV+, and Max pay enormous amounts to secure popular movies for their subscribers. Sometimes, a streaming deal alone can be worth tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars, depending on the film. And if the movie belongs to a company like Disney, it becomes even more valuable. Instead of selling the rights, Disney simply moves the film to Disney. Plus, this attracts millions of subscribers who continue paying monthly long after the movie leaves theaters. One film can help generate subscription revenue for years. Theme parks and attractions. Now here's where Hollywood becomes something much bigger than filmmaking. Some successful movies eventually become real-world attractions. Take Disney, for example. A blockbuster movie can inspire theme park rides, hotels, restaurants, live shows, and entire themed lands. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter attracts millions of visitors every year. Star Wars has Galaxy's Edge. Avatar inspired Pandora. The world of Avatar. Jurassic Park became a major attraction at Universal Studios. These experiences generate billions in ticket sales, food, hotels, and souvenirs. At this point, you see, the movie isn't just entertainment anymore. It's the foundation of an entire business empire, the power of a franchise. Now think about this. What would you rather own? One successful movie or a franchise that lasts for 20 years? Hollywood already knows the answer. That's why studios invest so heavily in sequels, prequels, spin-offs, TV, series, animated shows, comic books, and video games. Marvel didn't make just one Iron Man movie. It built an entire cinematic universe. Fast and Furious became a global franchise. Mission Impossible kept expanding, and Avatar is planned as a series of multiple films, stretching over many years. Every successful sequel brings audiences back, while introducing the brand to a new generation. For Hollywood, a franchise is far more valuable than a single blockbuster. So by now you can see that Hollywood doesn't rely on movie tickets alone. It earns money through box office sales, streaming platforms, television, licensing, merchandise, theme parks, video games, brand partnerships, and long-running franchises. One movie can create multiple income streams that continue generating revenue for decades. But this brings us to another fascinating question. If Hollywood movies can make billions of dollars, why do some of them cost $300 million, $400 million, or even more? Where does all that money actually go? So, we've learned how Hollywood movies make money. We've seen where hundreds of millions of dollars are spent. And we've discovered that one blockbuster can become a billion-dollar business. But now let's answer another important question. Who is actually making all this money? Is it the actors, the directors, or the giant studios behind every blockbuster? And more importantly, can an ordinary person ever build a business in the movie industry? Let's find out. The biggest businesses in Hollywood. When most people hear the word Hollywood, they think of famous actors: Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprio, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr. But the real power lies somewhere else. Behind every blockbuster are billion-dollar companies financing the entire discovery. Home to Batman, Superman, Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings, distribution rights, and Dune. Another giant is Universal Pictures, the studio behind Jurassic World, Fast and Furious, Minions, Oppenheimer, and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Other major players include Paramount Pictures, Sony Pictures, and Lionsgate. Together, these companies generate tens of billions of dollars every year through films and entertainment businesses. But here's something interesting. They don't rely on one movie. They release dozens of films every year. Some fail, some break even, and a few become global sensations that generate enormous profits. Hollywood's biggest failures. But here's the other side of the business. Not every blockbuster succeeds. Take Disney's John Carter. The movie reportedly cost over $250 million to produce. After adding worldwide marketing, the total investment became enormous, but audiences didn't show up in the numbers Disney expected. The film became one of Hollywood's most expensive disappointments. Another example is The Lone Ranger, despite starring Johnny Depp. The movie failed to recover its massive investment. One successful movie can make billions. One unsuccessful movie can lose hundreds of millions. Can you make money from Hollywood? Now comes the question you've probably been waiting for. Can an ordinary person build wealth from the movie industry? The answer is yes, but probably not by making a $300 million blockbuster. Instead, many people earn money through businesses that support Hollywood, production companies, camera equipment rentals, visual effects studios, sound design companies, costume designers, movie marketing agencies, film insurance, movie financing, streaming technology, animation studios, and even YouTube. Documentary channels explaining the economics behind films. Some investors also buy shares in publicly traded entertainment companies. Instead of producing movies, they invest in the businesses that produce them. Just like investing in any other industry. So now you know, Hollywood isn't just about celebrities walking down the red carpet. Behind every blockbuster, thousands of employees, massive financial risks, and business decisions worth hundreds of millions of dollars. After spending hundreds of millions of dollars on movies, after building billion-dollar franchises, after creating some of the biggest entertainment companies in history, what does the future of Hollywood actually look like? Is the traditional movie business dying? Or is Hollywood entering its biggest transformation ever? Let's look at the bigger picture. Streaming is becoming Hollywood's new battlefield. A decade ago, Hollywood competed mainly at the box office. Today, the competition has moved somewhere else. Streaming subscribers. Companies are fighting for people's monthly attention because owning a successful streaming platform can create billions of dollars in recurring revenue. Think about it. A movie ticket gives a studio money once, but a streaming subscriber can pay every month for years. That changes the entire business model. A single successful show or movie can attract millions of new artificial intelligence. Could transform Hollywood now. One of the biggest changes coming to Hollywood is artificial. The answer is still unclear. But one thing is certain. Technology will become a major part of the movie industry. Can someone still enter Hollywood? So, after understanding everything, can a normal person still make money from this industry? The answer is yes, but the opportunity has changed. You don't need to build a $300 million movie studio. Today, small creators can build entertainment businesses from anywhere. YouTube channels, independent filmmaking, animation studios, digital production companies, content agencies, and streaming-focused businesses are creating new opportunities. The barrier to enter entertainment is lower than ever. The next major entertainment company may not start in Hollywood. It could start from a laptop. Final conclusion. So, what have we learned? Hollywood movies are not just entertainment. They are massive financial machines. Behind every 2-hour movie, there are billions of dollars, thousands of workers, complex investments, and enormous risks. Blockbuster is not created by one actor or one director. It is created by a global business system. Studios invest hundreds of millions hoping one story can become the next billion-dollar franchise. Some movies fail. Some become legendary. But the biggest winners understand one thing. Movie is not just a product. It is an asset. A successful story can create revenue through theaters, streaming, merchandise, video games, theme parks, and decades of future opportunities. That is why Hollywood remains one of the most powerful entertainment industries on Earth, because at the end of the day, Hollywood is not only about making movies, it is about creating ideas that can become businesses, and that is the real economics behind Hollywood. If you enjoyed learning about the hidden business behind billion-dollar industries, subscribe to the channel, because every week we uncover how the world's biggest businesses really make money. See you in the next documentary.